Right. Shaun, Shaun. So our crack is we're gonna watch franchises. Friday is a franchise. Franchise Friday. We're gonna pick a franchise. We're just gonna watch all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sunday is gonna be recommended films and picked films. That's what those are.
Yeah.
So we're starting off with Scream. I thought we'd do Scream because it's a horror film. Plenty of reactions. It's also like a whodunit, so you can try and figure out who's.
We also watched the first Scream.
That's what's the first Scream. And you were scared a lot.
I wasn't scared. I jumped a few times. Yes, but I wasn't scared.
A jump is a scare. It's the same thing.
No.
Yeah. So we're just gonna watch the second film. So, little known fact: this film came out less than a year after the first one.
Less than a year.
Less than a year. Supposedly, it was plagued with like rewrites and studio interference.
Did they make a movie out of the murders? Why is everyone in these movies so insensitive? It was like that in the first one. Even though they were the killers, everyone was so insensitive.
Because real life trauma sells tickets. Because people are sick. It's the mid song. And it's the song in all of the films. Stabo-Vision. Seems relevant with Jada Pinkett Smith, doesn't it?
This isn't about that.
I wonder if people will understand that joke. She made that Will Smith meme. I'll never forgive her. Will Smith deserves better than that. Like, I almost single-handedly blame Will Smith for the fall of Suicide Squad. But, you know, he deserves better than what he got from a woman who is in this film.
Oh. Gee, I mean.
Yeah, bloody ouch.
He's tougher than me. I think I would have just. Oof. I don't know what I would have done.
Died, maybe?
Yeah, but how did he not like scream or like?
Perfect place to commit a murder. You know, everyone's dressed up as you.
And no one's noticed.
Why would they notice? They're all our busy pretending to stab each other anyway. Oh, look.
You're telling me no one's actually noticed? Hold on a second.
Look, they're all pretending to stab each other.
I know, but there's a difference between trying to stab each other and actually stabbing someone.
Well, they're all sharp.
And they're all cheering as well. They're all saying, "Oh yeah, kill her," because they think it's all like a part of like the thing, you know.
I'll say now they know. Now they've noticed.
Idiots. Absolute idiots.
Quite a dramatic death.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously wouldn't happen in real life. You'd get stabbed like however many times you got stabbed, and you would just fall. You wouldn't have time to go up on the stage and scream. And
How do you know? Do you know from all your experience of being stabbed? I have been stabbed. No, I haven't. I haven't really. I've been.
I would like to think I would
one
be
of
like.
those.
I would go for the dramatic death, but I don't feel like I would.
I've only been one of those, which isn't quite as serious. What's that one called? I don't remember. You know what I mean.
No, it's
Killer will strike again.
We have no evidence that this is a serial killer. I'd like to read from
Can you tell us of any precautions that you're taking?
Well, first of all, we think it's just an isolated incident.
She's just awkward. She's one of those awkward people.
Oh my god, this is huge.
Oh, is this the new gang?
Yeah, this is the crew. This is the crew that are all going to be dead by the end of the film.
Do you have any comments? Bitch. Oh, Sydney, share with us, please. Did you get that, Olio?
You can't just do that though. You can't just
It's harsh, isn't it?
bring someone on her.
So he didn't know that she was doing that.
Oh, okay, good. Is he the killer?
You'll get your 10 minutes when I get my goddamn interview.
Don't walk away from me, Gail. I'm still. Gail,
Hands
I
at,
did my part.
hands at the hips.
He's mad at Sydney for wrongly accusing him, so he's the killer.
Do it.
But like 20 minutes into the film.
Why don't you just leave her alone?
I hate when you make that face.
Have you never been inside this house on your own and when something like this happens and you go, someone upstairs?
Hello? Stop it.
Happens all the time with me. She's just standing there. Just leave.
Get out of the house. This right
Leave.
here is why I can't stand people in
Look,
harm.
she did it. She did it. Omega. Oh look. Wait, look. There is
Omega.
Omega.
She's not even out of the house. She's at the door.
Who's my favourite Omega, Katie?
Kenny Omega.
God, I hope he watches our channel.
He doesn't.
I don't think he does. I hope he might do one day.
Oh, of course she has a daft phone that needs to be like right there.
This is a 1990s phone.
Oh, she has the same idea.
Remember, she's seen a lot of films.
Mhm.
You're getting nervous.
I don't like where he just runs out with a knife.
Yeah, it's creepy. Isn't he?
She's a movie buff, so she should be able to survive.
And she's a movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We got puns here, folks. Stick around.
Oh, and there's like 5 doors behind her. Ugh.
That was a jump.
Yes, that wasn't her. That wasn't him calling Shirley. There's obviously another one.
It's good that you figured it out that straight away. I never put 2 and 2 together until like the 5th or 6th time I watched this film.
If there is someone else upstairs as well, she heard stuff upstairs, so...
Damn.
Oh, and he cleaned the knife.
It's a shame. It's a shame. She probably missed, a Buffy training by like a month.
Shaun.
She might have survived.
There's only so many Buffy the Vampire Slayer references you can make.
Right.
Police are everywhere. Hurry!
Yeah. Let's go and see the woman who's been murdered.
Yay.
Wouldn't that just be fabulous? Should I play the part of a sorority person for this video?
No.
And you could be the sort of Timothy Oliphant.
No.
Oh, there was a doggo. Did you see the doggo? They have a doggo.
As long as nothing happens to the dog, I'm fine. That's my only rule.
Red right hand. I can honestly say this is probably the film in all of the films where you won't guess.
Oh. Is it really daft and random?
It's not daft. It's not daft, but it's the other ones I could kind of guess who the killer was. With this one, I was completely off.
Oh.
But again, it was supposedly because there was like loads of rewrites and like the actual killers weren't decided until pretty much near the end. So it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Ugh, that was creepy, wasn't it?
I'm gonna get ran like. Da, 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 da. Come on, Derek, put your back into
Why
it.
do they have bars on their windows? You ready for this? He literally fell over everything. That's like you every time you walk into the living room. Go, Derek!
Idiot! An
Okay.
absolute idiot.
Okay, you've got to remember, he is a man. He can fight this person. He's a big man. He can fight the guy.
Oh, Dewey, what you doing?
So I'll tell you now. There's 3 characters in this that you absolutely definitively know that it is not the killer. Sydney, Gail, and Dewey. Those are the alumni.
Yeah.
Those 3.
And Randy.
And Randy. Yeah, that's true. 4. But he does have a bit of a thing for Sydney.
Yeah, but he wouldn't try and kill Sydney if he had a thing for her.
I mean, to be fair, maybe give the girl some slack. You know what I mean?
I couldn't. I wouldn't blame her if that was also the reason as well. She's just paranoid.
I know. I mean, from his point of view, give the lass some slack. The last boyfriend she had tried to kill her. You know what I mean?
I don't trust this one.
You don't trust him.
No. It's very convenient. He just got a cut in his arm where he could have just gone,
So I'm heading over
chuck the costume off. Hmm.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Oh,
This is
slap him. Slap
this
him.
is verily disliked by the Scream fandom. This scene is often.
No.
It's got loafers on.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Where's the staff of this university? This can't be right.
No. It's so cringy.
You'd buy them, wouldn't you? Like,
I know.
I'm not a
I
part
would
of
probably,
this.
to be fair, I'd probably go over and just like kick his feet out from under.
Yeah, I kick the back of the kick the back of the table.
dear. I couldn't be her. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, right? The woman was literally almost murdered, and you're saying, yeah, I know you went through hardships, but use it for
Yeah.
your art.
Use it for your college stage show.
Look how give her some slack.
I know.
She was
She's doing the responsible thing, and our teacher's telling her to be irresponsible. Did you ever have a teacher like that?
That just, despite all the... I mean, yeah, everyone's had a teacher like that, haven't we? That just only cares about their, like, lessons.
Yeah. It's a very appropriate play as well, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, this probably isn't doing very well for her trauma.
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking, yes! This is more than acting.
Yeah.
Get the girl some therapy, however.
I know. Imagine the trust issues you must have. Imagine the trust issues you must have after something like that happens to you.
Everyone take 5.
I mean, you pushed her into doing it. Don't be act so surprised that she, you know.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, she's clearly traumatized. Get out the way, everyone. This woman's traumatized. That teacher's a real hero.
She literally told him. Oh, I hate people like that. It's like, in retrospect, is her major more important than her life?
Apparently.
Your escort. Good boy.
Oh yeah? Well, let's redirect a moment, Mr. I'm so original. Huh?
Ready? Dewey.
Where's innovation, huh? Why copycat 2 high school loser-ass dickheads? Stu was a pussy-ass wet rat, and Billy Loomis, what the fuck? Jesus! What a rat-looking, homo-repressed mama's boy. Why not set you up higher, huh? You wanna be one of the big boys? Huh? Manson? Bundy? OJ?
Oh, you jumped that time.
Oh, idiots.
That's partially why I said Sydney and these two.
Oh. Yeah, that's why I don't split up. Idiots.
Yeah.
Convenient.
That's why they call it Scream. You're suspicious of that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what did he mean by that?
Take a hike.
The thing is, there aren't many of these people who can understand what he's been through.
They're gonna take you somewhere safe, Sid.
Obviously, she's been through a lot more, but you know, he's been through some stuff. She, not really.
Shaun, take her by the dorm. You can pack some things. We issue the campus lock-in this evening. No one's allowed out after dark, okay?
Because that worked so well last time.
I don't know, Sid.
How do you know it's not cotton? Is the what? Out out of all of them, he's the one that has like the biggest. He should put him in prison for a year, wrongfully.
Do you think it's just good old-fashioned revenge?
Could be.
Good. Are you still a suspect? In a huge misunderstanding.
God, have you been official?
Like, could Sydney not have one, and that they could all stay together instead of breaking into a school where who knows who could be in there?
One of my favourite scenes from the entire Scream franchise is coming up soon, because it's actually like really. Ugh. Oh,
I just don't like cringy stuff, you know.
you're just so against romance.
It's not romance I'm against. I just don't like cringy stuff.
This is a video player, just in case you don't know what those things are.
Yeah. Oh.
You'd be like, "Ugh,
Don't
go Dewey.
leave.
He's heroic.
Yeah, but don't split up, idiots.
He's injured,
Idiots.
but he's still going up there."
There's no one there.
Ugh. Okay. Got us a little bit.
It is also followed by a tiny little bit of ridiculousness.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah. There was a bit of ridiculousness there. There was no way.
You could get from all the way up there to all the way down there without anyone noticing.
Yeah.
Dewey or her noticing.
This bit, I like this bit. The chase. Because it's quite a long chase.
Don't look for another classroom to go into. Look for the exit.
Look for the big sign that says, "This way out." This film's really traumatized me as a child, you know. It really did. There's a bit here that, like, you'll understand why it traumatized me.
Oh!
Oh, and they just reconciled. That. I don't like that. I don't like being stuck in a room knowing someone's trying to get in.
Yeah.
Only a matter of time before they get in. It's awful.
Find a phone or find a weapon.
Yeah, look at all those cables on the walls, Gail. Yeah, that sequence from the bit just after the sort of ridiculousness to that bit is one of my favourite things in Scream, because it's really like gets you on edge, doesn't it?
Yeah, stuff like that, like where like you can't see where they are specifically, and they can't see where you are, and you're kind of trying to navigate your way around like a
Without alerting them.
yeah.
It's a bit more thriller than horror, isn't it? Because it's not about the jump scare, it's about the idea of trying to elude the crazy person with a knife.
So where are you taking us anyway?
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, maybe like leave.
It's a cop car.
Eh?
It's a cop car. Cop cars are designed to not be able to get out if you're sat in the back. But I gotta say, these were supposedly the police's best 2 detectives. Like, just shoot the gun.
Oh.
Yep.
No, absolutely not. I was just like, if he pulled up that gun and shot there, I'd have been like, okay, come on now. No, he's the villain. He's not dead.
You got any ideas about what they're gonna have to do? Is he dead? The guy with the big lead pipe through the top of his head. Nah, just a scratch.
Get the... Oh, it's going to be horrible, though. Oh, dear. Are they going to grab the pole and try and bash the window out with the pole?
No, it's much worse than that. Much worse. They're not going to defile that man's corpse. That would be disgusting.
So, yeah, we're going to open the only place that's, like, protecting us from the psychomaniac killer.
Does it look like they can get out the other side?
Idiot! This is why I don't like horror movies. Idiots. She's going to get out first and she's going to make it, and her friend's going to try and get out, and he's going to grab her and he's going to kill her.
Well, we'll see if your prediction is correct. At least, there's no cat flaps.
No, that's...
Does it look like she can get out from that side? Yep. Worst case scenario.
Push him out.
She might
Kill
wake
him.
up. She might
Take
wake him
his
up.
knife and kill him.
She doesn't know where his knife is.
Take his mask off.
This is one of those scenarios where...
Do something.
No, because if she takes his mask off, he'll kill her. He might wake up.
I would much rather die knowing who it is.
You'd be like, yeah, make as much noise as possible. This is one of those scenarios where I say it now, I'm going to say this now. If I was genuinely this person, if I was her there and this person had been trying to kill me all day, I would have had the strength to pull that person's head off. So I don't care what I've got to do to kill you, I will literally pull your head off. I would Godzilla them. I would lift... No, I would get one hand in one jaw, one hand in the other, and just go...
The thing is, though, right? You find the knife, and you just kill them?
The gun was literally just there. The guy was holding the gun. There's a tiny bit more ridiculousness coming up in a minute.
Find a cone, or find like a brick or a tube. There are literally tubes. Find a cone.
Get a cone? What's a cone gonna do?
They're heavy.
It's plastic.
Not the bottom parts are heavy.
Get a cone. Get a cone. Get a cone.
There are literally poles there, metal poles. Get a pole and bash the window in.
There's literally a policeman officer's gun right there on the bonnet.
Yeah. And now he's gonna grab her or something. And... Okay.
No, look, she made it. She made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem more bothered
So
by
there's
Randy.
definitely at least 2 of them, because one of them was there with her, the other one's there with.
Yeah, and despite like.
I've got your fucking story. I'm right here. This is an emergency. Get me to police. What's happening? The killer got fucking weary.
Yeah, despite the silliness in the film, the killer definitely didn't jump from her to Sydney.
So there's definitely 2 of them.
Yeah, you saw that earlier on when when he was talking to Buffy on the phone and the other one went in.
Yeah.
I always get excited at the resolutions. We're heading into the resolution now. I always like the resolutions.
Oh, she made her way back there.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing she must be good at, it surely must be running. She spends pretty much her entire life just running.
Yeah.
Where does she think to go to?
I mean, come on. Go to the police station. Go anywhere, but don't go into a theatre where there's loads of chairs and there's stairs. You're gonna fall over. You're gonna get trapped. Like, come on.
Not very many places to hide.
Come on now. So I couldn't be her friend. I would just slap her. Idiot.
You wouldn't want to get in the car with her, would you?
No.
So listen, I want to be supportive, but I'm just going to give you some space for fear of getting my
Yeah.
head chopped off.
Just gotta let you know. You're a bit of a weirdo. Makes poor decisions.
That's not her fault.
No, she makes poor decisions though.
Oh yeah, she definitely makes poor decisions. But then so do like most of her friends.
Oh.
What was it we were just saying about being trapped? She's trapped.
She's on a stage. Just walk back down the way you came on. How?
You never guessed Mickey, did you?
Disappeared on my ass. I've been on my own all fucking night. Thanks a lot, partner.
You motherfucker. City's crazy. You know me better than that.
Come on, Sid. I gotta have a partner. I couldn't have possibly done this alone.
Yeah, but he was there though. We saw him.
Did we?
Sid. No.
Or is he just trying to turn her against him?
Remember, you thought Billy was dead.
Yeah, but he was there with all of his like frat guys and sorority girls or whatever.
We don't know how long for.
Boyfriend killer.
Sid, the man is lying. Untie me. Sid.
What do you think, Derek? Is Sydney experiencing some deja vu?
No. I am gonna fucking kill you. Fucking kill you. You are dead. Dead.
Yeah.
Bershevich, Cochran to represent me. Bob Dole on the witness stand. My defense held up this coalition
I love Timothy Oliphant.
Tight, Sid.
So who's the other one then?
It's like theater, they're dying for it. And I've worked hard to give the audience.
She took the
what they
necklace
want.
off.
That's what Billy was good at. It's all about
Female heroine.
what's that?
She's quite cool, isn't she? Neve Campbell's quite cool.
Yeah, but
She still makes silly decisions.
yeah. There's also a necklace.
Yeah, still.
Not sure how much damage a necklace would do.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll get my stainless steel necklace and I'll see what damage it does if I thwack you with it across the face.
The random theatre guy.
Billy's mother.
First twist, huh? Didn't see it.
Oh.
Can't be.
Little guy needs to be treated.
Told you it was gonna work.
Wait till the trial. It is gonna rock.
There's not gonna be a trial.
Thick as thieves.
Mickey was a good boy. I can't blame the movie.
Special effects. She's gonna defeat the villain with special effects. Press all of the buttons.
Yeah.
She's basically just destroying a theatre at this point.
Yeah.
That's always an effective way of defeating a psychotic killer. See? You were wrong. If you've ever been chased by a psychotic killer, run to a theatre. You should be able to fight them off. It's just a shame.
No theatre I've ever seen has been quite this intense.
Oh no.
The fake bricks.
Yeah. She hit the rope that knocked all the fake bricks off the fake wall.
Yeah.
The hell of a theatre. I might find out what play this was and go and see a version of it, because apparently like there's walls exploding and stuff. Say, he's not a bad guy. You suspected him.
See, I liked her inclusion. I don't understand the other guy, Mickey's inclusion. He wasn't in it enough.
Yeah.
Compared to like Stu in the last one, he wasn't in it that much for me to go, okay, well he could be a killer.
There was a marked moment in the film where he just disappears, isn't there?
They got away with it in the first one, not a second time.
He didn't really do it in this first one though, did he? He just went, ah!
Yeah, you can't do it a second time. Okay.
Just in case.
Ha! Sydney. She's cool.
How you got stabbed so many times?
You don't know how many times he got stabbed, you didn't see?
He's just gonna be in a wheelchair in the next one, isn't he? He had nerve damage in this. Like,
He'll be a wheelchair in the next one. He's only going to have his torso the one after that. Then he's just going to be a head in a jar.
see, it's not that I wanted Dewey to die, but they already did that. He got stabbed. He survived. You can't keep on doing that. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It takes away the effect when you do it that many times.
Yeah. Becomes a cliche if you do it more than once, innit?
Just like with the fake death thing at the end with Mickey.
Sensitivity at its best.
I swear to God, if the third one starts with a movie as well, I'm gonna.
No.
Does it start with a movie? Is there a second movie been made in the world?
Okay, so I'm not spoiling it for you, but in the third movie, they're on to the third movie.
I mean,
that's why it's meta. That's why it's funny, because it's meta.
you know, I didn't really know how I felt about it, but I feel like after the end, I'm kind of just like, oh.
Yeah.
Having her in it, I've already forgot her name. Having her in as the killer was kind of like
Billy's mother, Mrs. Loomis, she's called.
Billy's mother, yeah, because it was like she kept on popping up, an annoying girl, and she was always there.
Yeah.
Conveniently, like she was the first one there when that lass got killed. Looking back, I'm kind of like, yeah. If it was just her,
You would understand.
yeah.
But then you've also got to imagine that she's running all over the place.
Yeah, so then obviously, if I was going to go for a second killer, my choice would have been Cotton. I feel like that was the obvious choice.
But you've got to go against the obvious, because you want to take people by surprise.
So then it would have been like our boyfriend, like another, like surely it can't be the boyfriend again.
Yeah. So the thing that I read was, because it was so plagued by rewrites and
Yeah.
studio interference, initially I think the two killers were initially supposed to be Mickey and Hallie, our best
My
friend.
best friend.
Those were initially the two killers, because in the first film, Wes Craven made a big deal of almost like mapping out who was like the killer when. So like
Right.
Stu was the one who held the knife like this and he stabbed people like this, whereas Billy had it in one hand, so you can tell which.
You can visibly see who. Yeah.
With this one, the killer's left-handed, does most of the killing left-handed,
Right.
and Mickey is left-handed in most of it. He does do most of the stuff with his left hand, but Mrs. Loomis doesn't. So it's kind of like it's a bit harder to see. And in a deleted scene, it does like it kind of goes, "Oh right, okay, aren't you left-handed, Mickey?" And he says, "Oh yeah, but look, so is Hallie," and it's like it's those two ultimately that are the killers. And you see
Yeah.
later on, I was wondering if you were going to catch on to it. You see him with a camcorder, Mickey. You see him with a
yeah,
camcorder
you
a
did
few
see him
times,
earlier on, didn't you?
and like that sort of.
But even then, though, like that's fair enough. That's like one thing.
Hmm.
I'm kind of just like, oh,
Yeah.
compared, and I know people probably say, well, Stu, there was no real like
Indication.
indications that Stu was doing it, but Stu was in the entire movie.
Yeah.
You saw him a lot, and he was still like. It
And
was still a pivot, like it was still a big role within the movie. Whereas
But
Mickey, he disappeared like.
It became
halfway
evident.
through.
It became evident though once you found out who the two killers were, how the kills were done.
Yeah.
Like it was obvious. Once it's one of them things where once you're at the resolution and you look back through the film again, you go, ah, right, so that's how they
And
did
like
it.
how he's kind of like he's deliberately trying to take the blame off Billy, and he's going, well, what about you? You know, and he's
Yeah.
He's trying to like do all this and that.
So-
It makes sense, but with Mickey, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. So my
he
thing
wasn't
with,
in it that much.
in my opinion, this is the worst of the Scream films. I don't think it's bad, but there's a lot more. It's got in my opinion, it's got one of the best scenes, which was that chase scene that you see,
Yeah.
because it's scary.
Yeah, I didn't like that scene.
But this one and the third one, as far as I know, were the two that were really beaten with rewrites. Apparently the third one was the worst for it. Like, it was rewrite after rewrite after rewrite after rewrite, and they had 3 or 4 killers who it was originally going to be, and then another rewrite, and it was someone else, and it was all kind of. I think the third one is a bit scarier than this one, but obviously
Right.
you'll find out when you watch it. But
See,
yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
I know I was doing that typical thing where I was like not trusting anyone, but I just feel like there were so many people I would have had as the killer before Mickey.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even see it. It got to the point where I forgot he was a character. Because you didn't. Because even in like the other, like in the first one with Stu, there were parts where because he was in the house and he was in the scenes where killings were happening, you kind of thought, oh, Stu next. You still had that thing, so when he was revealed to be one of the killers, it was a shock. Whereas with Mickey, it was like he was never.
I'm trying to think what was the last. What's the last scene you see Mickey in before you see him as the killer? Is it in the
Was it
hospital?
But he was at the hospital, yeah.
No, it can't have been the hospital because the singing bit is after the hospital.
Was it not the singing bit then?
Might have been the singing bit. Anyway, what I was going to say is there's definitely a marked point where you don't see Mickey again until he's revealed.
He's just the killer.
And even Mrs. Loomis, you rarely see her at all throughout the whole. She's only in like 5 scenes, and then there's that bit where Gail's on the phone, and that's it. That's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
But that then means that at some point Mrs. Loomis was chasing them around, stabbed Dewey, because it was Mickey who was with Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Stabbed Dewey. She was trying to break in through the window. She left. She got unchanged, and then she has that interaction with Gail.
The thing is, I like the idea of like, oh, her, like the mother that we all heard about, and the first one came back and all that stuff. But then I was kind of like, well, you did leave, and fair enough, he was still your son, but you left him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of random, and then you just find a random child
On a random
on a serial killer website.
Yeah. There's a lot of ridiculous.
That just so happened, like he goes like is at her college, and like he has no motivation for the killings. He's just being like mentored by coincidentally the mother of a murderer. It's like oh, like he had Cotton.
Yeah.
That I feel like that although that was the obvious one, I would have been happier with Cotton. Being the
Like,
killer.
to me, if I was to rewrite that, and I would, I might do it someday. I might rewrite the Scream franchise. Yeah, my thing would have been cut out some of the ridiculousness because there's a quite a bit, and I think without spoiling anything, there's probably more ridiculous in the third. Like, there's things where you kind of go, well, how did you do that? And kind of like they teleport places, and you're kind of like, well, the best thing about the first one is that these people were human.
It was more really like I liked the idea, like when they fell over, I was kind of like, oh, but that's because
Stu's dozy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Stu's dozy.
And they are human, like you're gonna fall over something daft, and they're fighting back, and like they were getting stabbed and they were actually dying. They weren't just
like, that was one of the criticisms of Freddy, Michael, and Jason, is that they're pretty much invincible. So where's the stakes? These people aren't going to survive them.
Yeah.
It's like, because they can't die, or if they can, they've got some ridiculous convoluted way that you've got to kill them. Whereas these ones, the people who are committing the murders are human.
So you can kill them and fight back.
So there is stakes.
I'm surprised Randy died.
I know, feels a shame, doesn't it?
Kind of, yeah. I was kind of like, oh, because I felt like, if this is like a franchise and it's like a whole thing, I thought the whole thing was going to end up with him eventually, like
getting the girl.
I thought that's what they were going for, but he just kind of died in a van.
Yeah.
It's like
the alumni that are in it all the way through are the three. I'll say that without spoiling it.
I just for the love of God, Dewey. I don't know why that, like, I was kind of sad. I wasn't terribly sad, but I was sad.
You seemed a lot sadder when Randy died than you did when you thought that.
Because I felt bad for Randy. Yeah. He was friend zoned. I always felt bad for the people in the friend zone. But Dewey, it was like, oh, he's dead, and then he just so happens to survive it. I think you've already done that in the first movie.
He doesn't have the limp in the third film.
Does he not?
No.
Also, being stabbed again magically fixes the nerve nerve damage.
Yep, that's how biology works.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you know that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Thing is, I like watching these films primarily because it's why I love the first one so much, because I guarantee at some point you'll watch the first one, knowing who the two killers are, and you'll go, right, so that's how they did that. That's how they did that. And I like watching videos where there's a YouTuber who maps it out for you.
Oh, so you can see the whole thing.
And it was him. It's called, I'm gonna shout him out. It's called Zach Cherry, and he basically explains the nuances that you can spot with each one. And apparently you can actually hear Stu talking when he's chasing her up the stairs. Like, if you slow it down, you can hear him talking, which is it's weird. But then with this one, because there's so many ridiculous, and it's the same with the third one, because there's so many ridiculous bits, you lose that sort of that effect that makes it cool. I don't think it's until the fourth one when that sort of, not realism, but sort of more believability comes back into it.
Is that your favourite one, the fourth one?
No, the first one's my favourite.
Oh.
I would say the first, fourth, third, second. And I haven't seen the fifth one yet. But I've seen the first half an hour of the fifth one.
Yeah, because I told you off for watching it without me.
Yes, true. That was us watching Scream 2. Tune in next Friday when we watch Scream 3 and 4. And then Scream 5. Scream 3 and 4 that we're going to watch next week. And in my opinion, I think the third one, there's a lot of scary premises in it. There's not a lot of jump scares.
Right. I don't really I jumped at bits in this, but not terribly.
That bit where the killer was chasing Gail, there's more scenes like that. There's at least, I would say, 3 scenes in the third one. But I think that one, in this one, is the best one.
Right.
The fourth one, we'll see. We'll see when we get to it. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell button notified when we upload. Go and see our full unedited reactions on Patreon. Yes, do that. Anything else you want to say?
I was hoping the third one was going to be better than this one, but after what you've said, I don't feel like it's going to be.
No, I think you'll enjoy the third one. The third one, what I'll say about the third one is, at the end, I'll explain to you what the original plot was going to be, then what it was rewritten into before it was rewritten into what it is.
Right.
There was 2 very promising versions of what it could have been,
but it got written.
but it got rewritten. And it's a shame because Wes Craven, he says, you know, oh, they got rewritten and it wasn't what I originally wanted, and he wanted to put these elaborate like little nuances in that you can spot when you watch them again.
So you can see it in this one, like every like that scene where like Randy was going over every person's like motivations and stuff. It's like, oh, like stuff like that. It's like I like that about the first one, trying to figure out who it could be and like and stuff. But
yeah, like
it's a shame.
did you say when the footage came up, when they were watching the footage in the auditorium, I don't know what it's called, but where the viewing thing, where they were looking at the footage on the videos, and you saw a video of the two kids that got killed at the beginning.
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith, you know those, and like there's a small video of like them just driving just behind them, and I think it would have been a really good Easter egg if you'd had Timothy Oliphant, and Zach Cherry said this, so I'm agreeing with him. If you'd seen him like in the background, not necessarily the first time you watch it, you sit there and you go, oh, that's Timothy Oliphant, but like when you go back through and you watch it again,
You see
and you're
him.
looking and you're seeing and you're like, oh, there he is, it makes sense now. Things like that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Like-
little bits that you can look at later.
That's something that Wes Craven would have done because he's a smart director. He was a smart director. Rest in peace. But yeah, what else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Yeah, that's it. No, tell us some more franchises that you want us to watch on Fridays, because Fridays is Franchise Friday. We're thinking about maybe just doing horror films, so we might do...
At the minute.
Yeah, so we might do this, then go and watch some 80s. We might watch the 3 Exorcist films, because my mum's been telling me to get you to watch that. But then it'll be things like...
Why does our mother hate me?
Watch all of the Jawses. I don't think you've seen all of the Jawses, have you?
I've seen the first. I've seen 2 of them.
Who's the famous English actor that was in the second one?
I don't know the actors.
If you knew the actor, you would definitely know.
I can't remember, but I'm sure I've seen 2 of them. I don't know if it's the second one I've seen. I've seen the first one.
Are you sure you're not thinking about Deep Blue Sea?
No. Is that the one with Samuel Jackson in it? Is he in it?
Yes.
No, I've seen that, but I'm not thinking of that one.
Right, okay. Anyway, tell us some more franchises. Some multi-film franchises that we can watch.
I feel like I should pick the next franchise.
No.
Yeah?
Nah.
It's about time I started getting you to watch some of the films I pick. Instead of just you making me like crap myself with horror movies and sad films.
People like seeing you react to horror films.
People want to see you react.
But they
to,
also like to see me knowing what you have to react to next.
No.
Because what happens is because I purposely try to steer you away from who the actual killer is.
You sit there and you make these faces at us, and I'm always like,
Yeah.
what?
That's what's funny about it. That's why I like it. I tell you what, if people tell us some franchises, I'll let you pick the next one. But if
I already
people,
have a franchise in mind that I want you to watch.
I'm not watching the Hunger Games. And
People
I'm
have
not-
already suggested we should watch Hunger Games.
And I'm not watching
You
the Maze
watching it?
Runners either.
People have suggested it. I've seen it. People have commented saying they say it. People have commented it, and I put them in the box so you're watching it.
Are those the two that you're thinking of?
There's another one as
I'm not. I am not under any circumstances watching Twilight.
well. No, I've not put. I wouldn't do that to myself. Never mind you.
Hold on.
What?
What's the franchise?
They're the 2 that came to mind. I think there might have been another one I put in the box.
Which one?
I think.
Which one?
Oh, it was a surprise.
I can tell you all of the franchises I'm going to make you watch.
I think I put Divergent in
Oh,
there.
for God's sake.
I'm not the biggest fan of Divergent, unless that's going to be painful for both of us.
Really? I give you some of the greatest horror films that have ever been made, and you give me Divergent and The Hunger Games.
You weren't a fan of this yourself. I have to put ones in that I'm not a big fan of, and daft ones, and you know.
Anyway, tell us some franchises that we can watch. We'll do our best to watch them. As for Sunday's Patreon videos, we're going to be watching things out of the box, and we're going to be watching recommended ones. I'm basically putting all the recommended ones in the box. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with It Follows, which is what we originally picked out. We're also going to watch Me Before You, and then we'll pick 2 out of there that we'll watch for next Sunday. Alright?
Yep.
Franchise Friday. That's what we're calling it. Thank you for watching, you legends.
I need to